I didn't play on that hook.
When did you look it up?
Earlier today. Get what I did
I don't know
wrong.
why we can't go off what he sent earlier. Why don't we just go off what he sent earlier?
Just for us to re-look them up.
I agree.
When everybody could just go and look at the game you want.
I agree. Go off that.
Then that is what we go off of. We don't re-look up lines.
Right.
What's the what are you saying now?
Brad, you want to look up the
Yeah, I got it.
current line? I got
I looked them up 10 minutes ago.
Wait, but wasn't the point we want to roll
Or no,
the
sorry.
lines? I'm confused. That's what I'm saying. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
The show goes on.
We go.
That's my face.
Yeah. Your speech was a bit of a.
Am I the first?
You're the first game on the board from London because you chose London. Are we rolling? Twisted Tie cracking with a muscular arm there.
Battlehawks.
We're here for Twisted Pigs, Season 5, Week 5.
Simpler time.
Woo! Woo! Big Bear is 7-1 over the last 2 weeks.
Not to
We
be
both went
confused with
3-1 on the games last week. 3-1 after a 4-0. Al, how'd you do last week?
We provided balance, 1 and 3 on this side, so 8 and 8.
Not great.
No, I mean you need a yin to a yang sometimes. Maybe you should write down what you take.
But he's hot, folks.
There you go.
He's hot. He hit those first 2 touchdowns on the beginning of the year. Now he's 7-1 in the
We're
last
hot,
2 weeks.
baby. We're hot. Win you some money, folks.
And we're going to Big Bear right off. He is going to London. The London Games, they call them. I guess there's a lot of them this year. This is the first one. The New York Jets at Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's minus 2.5. Over under 40.5. Big Bear.
This for all my blokes in London. Yeah, Minnesota. Love them. They've been really dominating every opponent they play. I know Green Bay made a little comeback last week. That was an exciting game. But that defensive scheme, if you guys watch quarterback interviews after Minnesota games, quarterbacks are confused. Now, I think Aaron Rodgers can crack the case, but Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have a great offense around him. He was hobbling on that Achilles. He's a 41-year-old man. Boys, how does it feel to be 41?
I'm 46, and yes, Aaron Rodgers looked hobbled.
I did 7 miles on Sunday. I feel great.
I think Mr. Owl over here would do a better job than Aaron Rodgers against Minnesota and London. I'm going Minnesota minus 2.5. I think the defense is rolling. I think Minnesota's the hot team. I don't love that it's in London. That seems to shake things up a little bit. But we're going overseas to London with Minnesota minus 2.5.
Wow. Owl, what do you think?
It makes me think. So we get a 6:30 a.m. game,
This
which
is at
that's an early
6:30
game,
a.m..
early game, and it made me just kind of think about what is the best time zone to live in the United States to watch football, right? I think we have it the best here on the West Coast. You get a breakfast game, you get a lunch game, and then you get a dinner game. And if you're not here, you got to start a little later in the day. But anyways, I was just thinking about the time zones. So tell me what time zone you think is best to watch football.
West Coast.
But we're watching at 6:30 in the morning, and here's what we're watching. We are watching Sam Darnold, who is first in QBR and first in TD passes with 11, 3 more than any other quarterback in the NFL. We're going to watch him shred the Jets, who looked terrible against the Broncos.
Minnesota's defense is, I feel like I just talk about defenses all the time. Aaron Rodgers is going to have trouble getting away. He didn't look great last week.
Turf.
Was it raining there? Yeah, soccer turf.
Soccer turf is tough.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota as well.
I thought you were going under with the whole defense thing.
Minnesota.
They look good.
While I disagree with the Owl, I do not think that Darnold will shred the Jets. I do still think the Jets have a pretty good defense. But this game is about the Jets' offense being inept. You throw Aaron Rodgers in there, I don't think it solves their problems. They still have issues on offense, and Minnesota's going to be able to score enough to get it done. It's a consensus pick.
Oh,
This seems like an
0-1
obvious
on the season, I believe.
Minnesota Vikings. Cheers to that. I love to cheers a Diet Dr. Pepper, folks. Wow. Consensus Vikings. Look out for them Vikings. They could be 5-0 if they win that game over in London.
Say that it's a Sam Darnold revenge game?
No. I like
It's a Sam Darnold revenge
I
game.
didn't even know.
Lots of
The
reasons to
mono
take the
monster.
Vikings there. All right, we're moving to the nation's capital for a morning game, 10 a.m. Cleveland Browns at Washington Commanders. I'm putting this game on the board because the Lions aren't playing this week and because the Commanders are hot, baby. You might have to call them the favorite in that division. Cowboys and Eagles, look out. The Commanders are leading that division already, and they're hot, and they're going to beat the Browns. I don't love that hook that came up on the board today. It was -3 earlier today, but now it's 3.5, but I'll still take it. Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, Commanders, easy cover. Might throw some bets on them to win that division. Big Bear.
Cleveland, Washington. This is a very dull color matchup. The orange versus the maroon. I don't love it. A lot of weird colors in this. Seems like a dull color game. I'm going for a dull game. I'm thinking of 2017 Cleveland versus Washington. I'm taking an under 44.5. Very dull to me. I don't know. I'm not seeing the vision here.
You haven't watched Jaden Daniels. You're not ready for it.
I have. I've watched Jaden Daniels. I love Brian Robinson. He lit it up last week. But I don't know. I'm just imagining old school Cleveland, Washington football, and I'm taking an under.
Anytime I see Washington on here, I think like, God, they're bad. I'm going to bet against them.
Not
But it's kind of a new Washington. They look great. I kind of put my note on here. Quarterback, highest completion percentage ever through 4 games in the history of the NFL. I mean, that is
Unbelievable.
It is insane. And I don't think Cleveland's defense is anything to write home about. So I'm going to go Washington here.
We overlook who's the backup quarterback. Happened to me last week. Backups come in. Joe Flacco, they kill you. You never see it coming. I'm going to go with Cleveland here. Washington's the hot thing everyone likes. Give me Cleveland plus 3.5. Jameis Winston, come in this game. Tear it up. I love it.
Chef's kiss.
Nice. And they're nocturnal, correct? Big night.
Who?
What's your favorite type of owl?
White.
Snow owl.
What was Hadwig? What was his name?
Spotted owl used to be a big
Hadwig case? What was his name?
controversial.
Edwig.
Really?
One
Exactly.
time, me and
Chain
my
themselves to trees.
One time, me and my cousins shot an owl out of my grandfather's ranch
What?
trees, and we got
This
in a lot of trouble for it.
Yeah, you can't shoot owls.
I think it was Cody
think-
Towner. Cody, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it was you
Cody,
with the
did you
pellet
shoot
gun.
an owl?
I'm pretty sure Mike broke a club at Rio Vista and then like threw it into the ground into like a burrowing owl's like home, like threw the broken club and it like went into a little burrowing owl home.
Owls.
Owls live in trees.
No, there's burrowing
There's
owls.
burrowing owls.
That's a burrowing owl. They like live in the ground, bro.
Have you ever seen an
As
owl?
I live and breathe. No owl?
I think so.
Where was this at?
On my grandfather's ranch, out behind the Budweiser factory.
was
See
shooting
the
owls.
I want to know if snow owls are
I
indigenous
wanna see
to
the
Now
current
it's,
scene.
now it's the Solano Brewing Company bottling factory.
All right.
We're moving on to the second half of the slate here for you folks. 4 games each week. And we're moving to California for these last 2 games. The first one's going to be in the Northern California.
California.
At the Santa Clara, Arizona Cardinals at Niners. Niners minus 7.5. Over under 49.5. Is this twisted tie? Yes, sir.
Yes,
he went
yes,
to the game
yes.
last week. You going
I
again?
did. I am not. I was baking up in that 400 section.
It's going to be even hotter this week.
I learned a few things from doing this show, and
Please keep that in. I want you to just
How
How
loud?
loud.
How loud was that?
that was pretty freaking loud.
I think you put the mic down there. You got to keep this in. This is what we have to deal with.
One of the things I have learned
there's a
from
lack
doing this show
thereof.
is Stoll over here taught us in the first few seasons to never bet against Kyler Murray, especially when it's a 7.5 line. That screams Kyler Murray backdoor.
He can swing it.
Screams that backdoor.
He can sling it.
So that's not an option. Can't take the Niners. Can't take the big spread. I'm not going to bet against my own team. I'm going to take the over 49.5. I think if this game does turn into a little bit of a shootout, hopefully I can hit that at least.
Actually, I was going to say the only thing I really know about this game is that the Niners' defense is good. But McCaffrey hurt.
But the
and
Niners' defense
some of
can
their other
score.
Players, yeah, they can score, but that offense is a little questionable right now. I'm not sold that you can't bet against Kyler Murray anymore. That was when he was a rookie. I'm over that. And I just think
7.5?
Niners at home against a bad team. I'm still going to call Arizona a bad team. Kyler hasn't sold me back in the other direction. I got to take the Niners at home. I think against the Niners at home against a bad team, that would be even worse than betting against Kyler. Niners.
When I close my eyes and think about this game, I just imagine Nick Bosa chasing Kyler Murray around, like an ogre chasing a Keebler elf. That's all I can imagine. I don't think he's going to get to him. That Kyler,
Quick, man.
he's elusive.
He's quick.
Now,
Unsackable.
I think the Niners are going to win. 7.5 is a big number. Completely avoiding that. Would never bet against them. I'm with Twisted Tie here. Big number. Take the over. Arizona can sling it. I see the 49ers jumping out like 28-3 early, and then Arizona just garbage.
You turn it off and start watching the other games.
Garbage.
Next
Then at
thing
the
you
end of the
know,
game,
they're
it's
down by 6.
35-30, and you're like, what happened here? We get out of there with the win, but it's a lot of points, a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
Keebler Elf.
Get away.
I looked at last week and I saw Arizona scored like maybe 14 points against the
And they
Washington
scored
Commanders.
10 the week before. 10 and 14 the last
I
two
think that the 49ers are a better defense than the Commanders. It's a division game, so I feel like there's some familiarity. So with as far as
Junkyard
defense
Dogs?
goes, I wouldn't. Not quite.
No.
But what I would say is I
Arizona
think
is not
there's
a
a
junkyard
talent
dog.
discrepancy, and I think that the Niner defense is good enough. I'm actually going to take the under in this. Not in the first half, and
So
I
you
would
just
say no.
magically got
Jordan
healthy in the
Love is
second half?
0-2. Malik Willis is 2-0.
I don't think he was healthy, but we're gonna
Green
talk
Bay
about the game.
at the Rams. The Owl has put his team Green Bay on the board. Well, let's find out why. They're favored
Packers?
at the Rams, who have a lot of injuries, especially at receiver. And Green Bay's favored 3.5, over under 47.5.
The Rams zig when we think they're gonna zag. We thought that they sucked, and they ended up beating the Niners, if I'm not mistaken. We thought they were good because they beat the Niners, and they lost to the Bears.
We are what they thought
And I'm
they
looking
were.
here, and I'm saying to myself, I know the Packers are better than the Bears. I know they are. And I thought that the second half was much better than the first half against Minnesota last week. So I think we carry that momentum, and I think Green Bay will cover the 3.5 against the Rams. 1 week to get healthier, still not 100% for Jordan Love. And I think Packers take care of business against the Rams. That's what I think.
Twisted Tie.
Oh, and LaFleur. Let me see. Sorry, I got this.
Get the glasses
Sorry,
on. Owl wear
LaFleur.
glasses.
4-0 against McVay. Ownage is ownage.
All right. I recently just learned that McVay is 4-0 against LaFleur.
No, LaFleur is 4-0 against McVay.
So therefore, you know what we're doing here, Case?
Flipping it.
Flipping the pancake.
So you want the Rams.
I want the Rams.
All right, so we have
I
Owl
wasn't sure there. I
with
had to
Green
look see
Bay,
what he did and digging the Rams.
Twisted Tie with the Rams.
I like it.
I am leaning Green Bay in this game. I think the Rams are just desperate. They got nothing left, no receivers. Stafford got hit hard in that Bears game. I can't take 4 favorites, though, can I? That would be 4 favorites. If I hit 4 favorites, is impossible to hit. I don't love it, but I'm doing it. Green Bay. Let's take 4 favorites, people. Chalk it up. Chuck, 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 chuck. Rams are 4 favorites.
And it just, maybe you take all the rest, like dogs and points for
Yeah,
the rest of
all
the
the
slate.
other games.
It's just a small snapshot.
You know I got to put on the helmet for this one. I got to put my thinking cap on.
He's going to flip and a flop.
Thinking cap is on.
Oh, the football gods. They're talking to me. Week 1, Rams lose it away at Detroit. Week 2, they get destroyed by Arizona, but they're away. Week 3, they beat a good Niners team. But wait,
You just broke the chair again.
they play at home. And last week, they lose at Chicago. This is a very common factor here, folks. When they're at home, they play well. When they're on the road, they play bad. I'm going Rams plus 3.5 at home. Green Bay can slang it, swing it, stang it, and bang it. But I'm telling you right now, those Rams and that McVay,
You like that SoFi Stadium?
he'll cover. He'll be down 5 and kick a field goal with 2 minutes to go. Trust me, I've been there. Watch that McVay
You have
cover.
suffered that. That's PTSD.
I know
right there.
McVay likes to
Down
cover.
5. That was not what
It
happened.
was something.
That McVay likes a thinking cap. Oh.
I actually had a request for you to wear that all the time on the show.
24/7. Not from Mama Joan. She's not happy with that.
Take that stinking
Yeah.
She doesn't like it.
Mama Joan, get him a Niner one. If you want him to wear some new stuff, get him a Niner one.
my boy Smoking Joe Holloway. He wants that thing on you all the time.
All right,
7-1.